the aspirations of African cities, many of which you will have seen elaborated in the African Union's Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals, assert the provision of the following as part of fulfilling everyone's human rights. The facilitation of a good quality of life for all residents through the provision of adequate, affordable, and serviced housing. Equitable provision of portable water and sanitation, education, health, cultural and religious facilities, and services responsive to residents' diverse needs, the cultivation of policies and conditions conducive to livelihood pursuits, trustworthy safety, security and welfare systems, well-maintained public infrastructure and natural and maritime resources, safe, inclusive and accessible public transportation, retail and recreational spaces, nourishing and expansive food options affordable and proximate to persons of all socioeconomic levels, prompt, reliable, accessible and affordable telecommunications, and so on. These aspirations are also increasingly turning to digital capabilities to imagine urban futures which leapfrog the barriers, whether they're structural, economic, or prejudicial, currently impeding vulnerable social groups' full participation in urban life. The experts we introduced to you in the urbanization, urban food, and smart cities courses shared such insights as the safe online communities being curated by and for LGBTQR+ Africans to foster connection, solidarity, peer and resource sharing in ways that may not be legally or safely possible in their physical environments. You will also have discovered Africa's unique superpower, the informal, from traders and marketplaces to housing and public transport options, which is being harnessed and overlaid with the multiplier and cost efficiency benefits of digital solutions. Our courses brought to your attention some of the digital solutions, making it far easier to move money, goods, people, and services, not only within and across the continent, but even internationally, with some remittances in some instances far exceeding the revenues available to African cities. This is fueling the rapid transformation of Africa's urban landscape. However, what our courses appeal for is a concerted and coordinated effort driven by city governments and involving multiple stakeholders, including communities, public and private sector representatives, civil society, development partners, and others, to ensure that no one is left behind. On the one hand, our courses acknowledge the Africa Rising narrative, galvanized by the youth demographic upsurge observed throughout the continent, which presents African cities with the youngest, most tech-savvy, digitally engaged and vocal populations they have yet encountered. On the other, our courses caution against the wholesale destruction of Africa's informal economies, neighborhoods and modes of being, and doing in a bid to supplant these with grand blueprints to accelerate the achievement of modern Afrofuturist visions. This caution is made with a cognizance of the enduring impact of Africa's colonial and apartheid legacies, which strongly motivates for African cities to ensure that all urbanization policies, plans and projects are just and achieve equitable, ethical and sustainable outcomes. Finally, as you conclude these three courses on urbanization in Africa, the art of the possible, what can food tell us about African cities, smart cities and urban possibilities in Africa? We hope that you do so feeling enlightened and inspired to consider what your contribution might be to make your city's unfolding future, whether in your professional capacity or as an active and engaged participant in its policy and civic processes.